All right, folks, welcome to GAMcast Live, the biggest story of the day, November 10th, 2022. The biggest story of the day today is the fact that Democrats actually believe someone like John Fetterman could be president. And I'm going to explain why this is such an important story that a lot of people aren't really paying attention to. So GAMcast Live, GAMcast is the Florida and Georgia lawyer that breaks down the news and events of the day through the lens of the law, the Constitution, and history. Folks, let's get right to it. A couple of days, or I believe it was yesterday on MSNBC, they had this to say about John Fetterman. This is specifically Katie Tour. Take a listen.
Fetterman as a...
Oh, wait, I meant to correct the microphone, and I didn't. 1 second. I don't know why it jumped over there. Let's try it again. On MSNBC, they had this to say.
Nominee at some point for president. I know there's some variables, obviously, but just a few. But I just, what he did in the super red, deep red parts of Pennsylvania, and the way that he ran ahead of Biden, as you were saying, ran ahead of Trump. I mean, it just makes you wonder about his future.
Folks, the way he ran against Biden, the way he did this, he didn't do anything. Everybody knows that. He's a vegetable. He's not here. He barely campaigned, just like Biden. The main thing about somebody like Biden or Fetterman for the Democrat Party, the main thing is to get someone that you can put before, right? And so that you have voters that vote for you that are impervious to fact, impervious to reality. When the Democrats get to that point, 50% plus one, then there'll be no more elections for all intents and purposes. And that's almost where we are. That's the biggest story of the day. That's what the election is showing, that it doesn't matter about crime. It doesn't matter about inflation. It doesn't matter how bad people are suffering, because there's a group of people out there in our country who cast ballots or votes, and they don't deal in reality. And that's why they're running people like Biden and running people like Fetterman. They're seeing how far they can push it. It's going back and hearkening back to the days before the Civil Rights Movement, when they used to say, used to call them yellow dog Democrats. The Democrats can run a yellow dog and people voted for it. Have you ever heard a similar term for Republicans? There's a reason for that. And Republicans still don't get it. Here are the folks over at Fox, and they still think that their elections and voters vote on issues. Take a listen.
I think what is really disturbing, though, is the fact that most of the country thinks we're headed in the wrong direction.
75%.
75, some said 80%. Mm-hmm. And yet so many people voted on issues that weren't the issues we thought they were voting on. We thought it was all about the economy, inflation, and crime. But as Jessica, I'm sure, will say, it was a lot about abortion. It was a lot about the threat to democracy. And even in spite of that, I think Republicans did very well.
See, again, this person misses it. And I'm not trying to pick on this person. I like this person as far as it goes. All right. But folks, only rational people voted on the economy, inflation, crime, the border, things like that. Those people, they didn't vote on threats to democracy. You can't have threats to democracy while you're engaging in democracy. Okay, that was the whole design, the whole point that they had. This was a grand experiment by the Democrats to just completely run complete nonsense, because they knew they were going to lose the House anyway. Why not just go ahead and run complete nonsense and see what happens in the Senate? Oh my God, they are dancing in the streets right now, because it demonstrates to them that they can tell them anything, and they got a group of people that will go out and pull the lever and get them ballots. Anyway, when they get to 50% plus one, then there's no chance, and we're pretty close to it. Anyway, we try to keep these under 4 minutes. If you enjoyed this, please share it, hit that like button, subscribe, tell a friend, and if you enjoyed this, hope to see you tomorrow.